Hello and welcome to today's lesson, which is a fairly modern hymn called Be Still. It's a lovely tune, isn't it? We're in the key of D major, and so we are going to play both sharps that are in that key. The scale of D major is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And we get to play all 8 notes in the scale. If you look on the chart on the right hand side of the page, you can see all the notes used in ascending order, and they are D on the right, E on the left, F sharp on the right, G on the left, A on the right, B on the left, C sharp on the right, and D on the left. So if we play those notes fairly quickly, we've got the scale of D major. So that's quite good, isn't it? We get a chance to play all the notes in that scale in this tune. I'm going to introduce something a little bit different today, a different way of using the bellows. What we're going to try and do today is to more or less keep the front closed here. Okay, see, normally when I play, I tend to do this, just go in and out and keeping it fairly straight. What we're going to try and do today is to keep this kind of angle with the back fanned out and the front closed. So I'll just play a little phrase to show that. See, so that front end, if you like, is coming in like this, and the back's like that. It's called the inverted V, and it does give you a little bit more control, and it feels quite nice to do. Obviously, it's horses for courses. You may find that it doesn't suit you. I've heard of some people fanning it the other way, with the front sort of out like that and the back closed. And a lot of people just play in and out in a kind of normal way. Some people go like that, in that kind of shape. Doesn't seem to be any hard and fast rule. But anyway, just try this, see how you get on with it. So let's look at the tune. On the left hand side, comes in on beat 2. We're in 4 beats of the bar. So the counting would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So you've got 2 Ds on beats 2 and 3, an F sharp on beat 4, and a G on the and after 4, so halfway between beat 4 and beat 1 of the next bar. And don't forget, the F sharp is over here, it's on the lowest row, the row nearest to the finger rest. So now we have 3 A's on the right hand side, counting 1 and 2, and then we have a B over here, 1 and 2 and then on beat 3 we come back to the D on the right hand side, and then I tend to change my bellows here and start to come in before I play the D again, and we are going to play the D again on the and after 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So let's play from the beginning. Let's count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we then have a run down, dead straight, 1 beat each. So you're playing on the 4 main beats of the bar, G, F sharp, E, D, and then come back to E. And you notice the E takes up 4 cells, it takes up the entire bar there. So bar 4 is just 1 note, and it's the note of E. Now we're going to start on the second beat of the next bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So slightly different. The first bit's the same. D, D, F sharp, G, A, B, D, D. So instead of going A, B, D, D, you've got A, B, D, D. So you've got the A fills 2 cells. The B comes in halfway between beats 2 and 3. And then you've got D held for beat 3, half of beat 4, and then another D halfway between beat 4 and beat 1 of the next bar. and then you've got the rundown G, F sharp, E, D, but the very last note on the page is up to the A. So let's just play that first page. When I play, I tend to sort of make sure I've got the first few notes. I mean, I've seen people in concert doing this. They sort of get their concertina and they sort of find their first few notes and they get kind of settled. So that's not a bad thing to do. We're now going to play our first page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. And up to the A there. 3, 4, 1. Now that's held for 4 beats in that bar and 1 beat in the next bar on the next page. So 5 beats in all. So we're now going to move up pitch wise, so kind of towards the front of the concertina, if you like, and we have this run up and then down to A. B, C sharp, D, D, A, A. So B is finger 2. Now the C sharp is obviously on the accidental row, the bottom row nearest the finger rest, and on my concertina it's the 3rd one along. So we did F sharp and here's C sharp next to it. So here's our run up. Now before we do our run up, just make sure that your fingers are bent round like that. Don't try and play flat fingered. Bend the fingers round, because otherwise you'll find yourself playing more than one button at a time. I'm sure you've realised that the buttons are pretty small, and unless you curl your fingers round, you're going to end up playing, as I say, more than one button at a time, which is something you don't want in general. So here's our run up. Then the same again. And then we've got this bit. And that's the same as before. Now what I did when I played the tune through earlier was I added a little something, and I don't put these little somethings on the sheet because they're not for everyone. I just keep the sheet fairly basic, but I'm going to tell you how I do my kind of, I call it my amen ending. I'm going to do my final rundown. So while that D is ringing, I'm going to play G, E on the left hand side, and then F sharp on the right hand side. So you've got D and G, D and E, and then D and F sharp. Amen. That's why I call it the amen ending, and it sounds quite nice, doesn't it? Just do one note at a time with the D. I mean, you can blur the G and the E together. That sounds quite good. See what you think of this. Quite nice, isn't it? But definitely on the end you want the D and the F sharp because you want the effect of a D major chord. So that's just a little extra that you might want to put in. If you find it too hard, I always say this, don't worry about it. I hope you're getting on well with the instrument. It's certainly good fun to play. I mean, I leave mine out. I know you should keep them in the case, but I think if you leave the thing in the case, you're less likely to play it unless you've got young children or pets that are likely to knock it over or damage it. I tend to leave mine out a lot of the time, so I just see it and pick it up. I think you'll do far more practicing if you do that. That's just in my opinion. Just to give you an idea of what it sounds like on another instrument, I'm going to play it through on the Jackie. So a very different tone. You can't tell because the automatic level sorts it out, but this is much louder than the Nationale that I played earlier in the lesson, but still love the tone of it. It's just nice to have the choice of tones if you're lucky enough like me to own more than one of these things. So there we are. I don't know if you know that tune. There's plenty of examples of it on the internet, sung and played, but I think it's a lovely tune, and it gives us a chance to play in D major with those two sharps, the F sharp and the C sharp. And as I say, I can't honestly say I always think to do this kind of bringing the bellows in at the front, but I think if you do, for me it seems to work pretty well. So see how you get on with that, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson.